June 11th. Alright, so this problem was yesterday's problem. It's one of the hard ones. Like, really hard. Hard on both sides. One side is to really come up with a solution, which is pretty hard. I mean, look at how much I have to write to kind of reorganize my thought. And secondly, in the implementation side, it's also not trivial. There's some parts that I overlooked when I first tried it, and then I got bitten pretty hard. Like, it's 2 pointers, but we're doing prefix sum, so yeah, your left pointer has to start with -1 because of the prefix sum thing, right? And also, like I have to update these first because in the while loop we use the updated version of the high prefix sum. So yeah, things like these are, that I don't pay attention to, like when I was reading the editorial, but when you're actually trying to implement it yourself, it gets more difficult, right? It gets more difficult. Like you read the editorial, you think, okay, yeah, I understand how it goes, but then you try to put everything into practice. It's a very different story. So yeah, this is definitely a hard problem, very very hard. Thinking back, trying to just analyze, like do a little bit post-mortem, like why did we fail on this? Well, we don't know. Okay, so we don't know. We thought it's going to be a sliding window, but immediately we thought it's not going to work because sliding window, you have to start with k, right, and then k plus 1, k plus 2, because it says it's at least k. So sliding window didn't work. I think the intuition that didn't hit me was in this type of problem where they say the size of a substring, right? You should really think about like 2 pointers. I think 2 pointer is a key inspiration, a key thing that if you didn't come up with this, that you won't be able to. This part of just iterating through everything, it should be char. It's just iterating through everything. This part, I think I had this idea because it's kind of, you see that there's only 5 possibilities. You think, yeah, we can try all the combinations. So this one I can get, right? So like there are 2 key things already. But then the next 2 aspects are very difficult. Okay? First aspect is to figure out a way to give parity, right? And also it's also combined with prefix sum, right? So prefix sum and parity, like these 2 are the next 2 very difficult part. But I think if you have an idea of doing prefix sum, doing 2 pointers, maybe you will come up with the prefix sum. So the prefix sum and prefix sum and 2 pointers work very well together. I think if we get these 2 ideas, then we'll know, yes, we'll do a prefix sum of all the counts for one letter. We'll do prefix sum of all the counts of the other letter, right? And then we can do the minus, then we'll get it. Okay, so that's actually this part, right? This is, if you just go prefix sum, this is what you're going to get. So the next one is you need to transform this into this, right? You need to do this transformation such that you can compute a value along with one pointer and then compute the other value along with the other pointer. Now this is an insight. Maybe we can get, maybe we cannot. But the absolute jewel of this solution is we keep track of the minimum of everything happens here. And we use the parity state to decide which one to use. Now that is very hard. So essentially what we're trying to say is, yeah, we all hit every single one of this, but for every single one of this, we want to find the minimum possible this that's compatible with it. That is the key, right? The absolute jewel of this. And it's hard to get. It's very hard to get. And of course the parity, to use a bit map to represent parity, that's also, yeah, I didn't come up with that at all. So a lot of gaps, absolutely a lot of gaps. Definitely one of the more difficult ones. It's pretty tough. Unemployed. Yeah. All right. So that's about that. We're gonna move on. Yeah, it's as expected, and I'm not gonna do another one today, even though like I really should do this one, but I have some other engagement that I have to take care of. Maximum difference between adjacent elements in a circular array. So just circular. So we just do one more. The drop in difficulty between these problems are just marvelous. Now I still think the other problem, the one that we solved earlier, a few days ago, we didn't solve. We checked, right? It's like when I say simple description, is used sometimes to give you really hard problems. And the problem that we solved a few days ago, which is giving you a start number and end number, right? You'll sort it based on string and ask you the kth one. Now that, right? It's a one sentence. It's a one sentence problem, but you get you to think, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. But a problem like this is like, it's pretty easy. This one, right? It's pretty easy. You can probably just start writing without even thinking too hard. I mean, the only thing is just it wraps around. That's it, right? The only thing is just it wraps around. Yeah, the only tricky part is that the index need to wrap around. Actually, no. Yeah, just remember, right? Just remember to do one more difference, right? Between the first and last number. That's the thing, right? Everybody else will be fine. So what we can do is we can say res on the max, so it'll be 0, right? And then we'll say for int I equal to 0, I is smaller than num size minus 1, I plus plus. The res is maximum res and nums. We can do yes, nums I minus nums I plus 1, right? In fact, even better, 0 minus nums dot size minus 1, and then you can return res. I had a very bad training session this morning. I mean, yesterday I hit pretty hard, and should have taken an easy day today, but I did not, and I injured myself. It's not a big injury, and I had this type of injury before. It was my finger, because I do open finger when I do cleans, and when I get tired, like today, when I don't have power, and I need to catch the bar really hard, and then I will stretch my middle finger, my right middle finger. I'll stretch it, and for whatever reason, my right middle finger is the skin is very tight. So that if I overstretch it, the skin will bust. It will just tear open. And that's exactly how it is now. It tore open. this type of injuries happen, and I should have known better. I was asking myself, should I do one more set? Right? I was there contemplating. You know what? Let's just call it a day. Don't do another one. But yeah, I was not happy because I didn't do what I need to do, and I said yes, I'll do another one, and then that happens. All right. Anyway, that's it. All right. I'm gonna have to do my other stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.